Let's talk about the switches.
Yeah.
That's where the magic is inside the switches.
The traffic cop.
And multicast management. The burden that's put on those things is immense. This came out of, I believe, Cisco started work on this basically to get into the IP telephone systems in business offices. The switch itself has a limited number of multicast entries that it can manage because it has to keep track as packets come in. It has to look at the header and decide where that's going. There's a limit to how many of those things it can manage.
Right.
And that's really what defines the expense and the complexity of these various switches. They're content addressable
some of
memories.
the simplest one can only handle 256 different streams, where the real high-end stuff can handle tens of thousands of streams.
So you're talking about basically we're gigabit. We use gigabit for all of our audio. It handles the latency, the bandwidth, and the 2960G is probably one of our most popular ones. And we usually put that in a studio. Or in a smaller system, we'll put that. And based on the number you just told me, the 256, so you just add up your inputs and outputs, make sure you don't have more than 256 multicast addresses. They're going to be feeding this little guy, and you're safe.
Well, let's make it a little more complicated. What happens really is that we don't put out a stream unless somebody subscribes to it.
Right.
Some other people don't do it that way. They put every stream that's in the system, every source is always putting out onto the network. That puts a burden on the switch. That consumes multicast addresses. As soon as an address comes into the switch, it consumes a table entry, whether it's being used or not. We don't do that. We only put out the streams that actually somebody is subscribed to.